Welcome back. This is the aging story, my story, and your story too. I am very grateful to you for interacting with my videos in one way or another. I appreciate you and I say a big thank you. Keep following this story because as much as it is my story, remember, and I keep saying this all the time, it's your story and my story too. This is our journey together. Every day we grow older and we are not sure about the things that aging shall bring into our lives. So let us walk together. Follow me and let's see where the aging story shall take us. Today, I want to share with you something that some of us might have come across in this aging journey. And that is why part 10 will come a little bit later after this video. As we continue to grow older, we know that things change in our lives. And whatever age brings to our lives, it is very, very individual, it is very, very personal, and we do not encounter the same things. We encounter different things according to what I have learned. Today, I would want us to think about having an encounter with our loved ones or anyone else that you have encountered who has memory disease. Remember, my story is very, very personal because what I share with you in this story, it's not something that I think about, but these are lessons that I have learned over the years. This is maybe relevant to some of us that have interacted with this kind of situations. And I want to give a very simple example. And from this example, you can learn or relate with it, because this is what happens, and we cannot tell about the version that shall be there tomorrow when the memory disease triggers a situation in our loved ones. So somebody comes to my office and tells me that please come to this client's apartment because there is an issue. And this person tells me that he cannot be able to handle that issue. And so we go together to this client's apartment and I ask the client, what is the problem? And so the client looks at me, and because I am very familiar with her and she knows me very well, she tells me that She points to an item in her apartment and tells me that this item does not belong to me. Somebody brought this item to me. And I was not in the house, in the apartment, so this person entered into my apartment, dropped this item, and disappeared. And remember, this client has memory disease. So I look around. I know her very well. I know her apartment. I know whatever is in her apartment that I can see with my own eyes. I've seen that over the years belongs to her. And so I try to tell her that this item, look, I know you very well, and I know I have visited your apartment many, many times, and this item belongs to you. When I told her that the item belongs to her, and I know that it belongs to her, she looked at me and told me that, hey, look here, I have always trusted you, but with this matter, I do not trust you. I am telling you that this item is not mine, and someone brought it into my apartment when I was away. And then as a professional, I realized that this situation is stuck. And the client is convinced that this item does not belong to her. And she wants to know who is this person that brought this item into her apartment. So what do I do? Do I continue convincing her that it is her item? No, I do not do that. At this moment, I enter into her world and I relate with that. Why? Because memory disease, when it strikes you, you are the only one who understands your world. You are the only one who sees what that world is like. You are the only one that can identify with that situation, that moment. And so I had to go into this client's moment. And as much as I could not understand, I had to believe what the client was telling me. It was not in my position to change her world into my world because my memory is not in her state. My point is that when you meet these kind of situations, you have to realize that the person talking to you and this person is suffering from memory disease has the picture of what it is in her situation. Memory disease takes us into our own world, and we must understand that that is the world that they can see, they can identify with, and it is not our business to bring them back to our world if it is not a situation that endangers their lives, that can cause harm to them. If there are these normal things that you know solving them by going into the world will calm the situation, so be it. But if the situation is that and poses a danger to their own lives, then there you must react by trying to bring them back to a situation where their lives are safe and they are not in danger. So what did I do in this situation? I stepped into her world and I told her that, right, I believe you. So I'll take this item to my office and I will try to ask around who brought this item into your apartment. And when I know who did that, then I'll come back to you so that we can solve this situation. And so I took that item out of her apartment and I took it into my office. And the whole situation calmed down. Because if I insisted that this is your item and it belongs to you, what could have happened? The client becomes frustrated, becomes aggressive, and the end result might be unwanted. Likewise, I become frustrated, trying to convince her that this is your item, and her fighting back that this is not my item, and the whole situation can explode, which is unnecessary. So my story, in my opinion, is just to try and bring to you little insight about how to solve this kind of situations, that you go along with their story, try to solve it in their own world, except when there is danger that can happen, or that can be posed if you do not go into their world. Thank you very much for watching. I'll stop here for now, and next time I will bring to you part 10 of the aging story. Thank you again, and take care of yourself wherever you are, and continue following, continue listening, and I am grateful for all your support. Bye for now, and see you next time.